Okay. So in Python, we are actually starting today, and the lesson that we are having today is going to be called Hello Python. In this Hello Python, what we are going to do is we are going to start to learn how to write simpler code in the form of text that we can show on screen. So today we are going to learn on a few practices through which we can show something on the screen. So the first thing is today we are going to start working on is how we actually start writing the code. So for that, what you're going to do is if you have already installed Python into your computers, you need to go to idle Python, and you can launch it onto your PCs. I had some problem. I will try. Yes, idle Python. So you can open that idle Python, and once it opens onto your screen, you can start writing a code into that. Remember that whenever we will start writing the code, we will get a way on how we can fix it. Yes, Haris, you want to say something?
Yeah. Can I show how I was downloading a Python, but it's not download. Can I show how I downloaded? Then you see what is the problem.
Okay, you can tell me how you tried to do that, and I will tell you what the problem is. But we will do this
Okay.
after we are done with this class. Okay, after I'm done
Okay.
with explaining you what to do, after that I will
Sir,
surely help you. Okay, so this
I
is
can't see your screen.
sorry.
I can't see your screen. I can see your screen.
You
I
can't
can
see my screen,
I
right?
can. It's you. I can see your screen.
I guess everyone can see my screen now. Okay. So first thing that we are going to learn today is how we will save a file. So once we open that file, I will go to this new file and I will open a new file here. I will close this one and we'll start working on this new file. In this new file, I'm going to write a few things, and these few things are going to help me type a solution of the problem. So first program that we should learn to write is Hello Python, or we should write a program through which we can explain how to tell that we are welcome to Python. So we are going to write print. Now you see that when I was typing it earlier, can you see what I have written right now? I have written a statement that starts with the word print.
It says hello Python. Hello
Yes, I have
Hello
started with a
Python.
statement that starts with this word print. And after that, I added these two brackets. And in these brackets, I added these two quotation marks. Okay. So what do we call these symbols? Can someone tell me what do we call these symbols?
Coffee. Speech mark or inverted comma.
Yes, they are called speech marks. They are called quotation marks. They are called inverted commas. So we are using this statement. This statement helps us to write something in the Python that would be displayed on the screen once we run that program. So what I do now is that I write this print hello Python, and now let's see what happens when I try to run it. So first I will save this program here, Control S. It is going to help me save it, and this program I will call it hello Python and just save it here. Now let's see and run it. What happens once we run it? See, when I ran it, it said hello Python. So what I can do is I can try to make some changes into that. Like I can introduce myself, who I am, and I can draw a cake using this kind of statement. And the first thing that I would want is that
What's that crazy? You can draw a cake.
you can draw you can draw some characters that would look like a cake, but I will show you how to do that. So let's break down its syntax first. So syntax is very simple. All you have to write is print. We use this keyword print when we want to show something on the screen. Why do we use this keyword? This keyword print, this keyword is used when we want to show something on the screen. So whenever we will have to write something on the screen, we will use this print here. Like through using this print, I can explain print my name. So for that, I can do something like that. And I'm now going to say, my name is Umar Javed. Copy it and paste it here and again write, I teach coding to kids. We are learning Python right now. And then I will write, we like Python. It is fun. So now this is kind of an introduction that I have written for myself using the print command only. So this print command is going to help me to display these things onto the screen. So wherever I am working on something where I have to put something on the screen, I can use this print command to help me out. And here I'm going to write print. Now, if you see this print does not turn purple. It stayed black.
Because
what is that?
I know, because you put the P capital.
Yes, I put the P capital. That's why it is not recognizing as a keyword. So if I put it small p, you can see that it turned purple. So we need to be very careful. We do not have to put any word capital. All the words of this word print need to be small. P, small, small r, small I, small n, and small t. And after that, here is a cake that I want to present to my students. So now after that, I'm going to try and draw a cake.
How do we write what are these small commas called? And where do we press them?
Okay, so why do we write these small commas? Ayad, I am getting your question. You are saying that why do we write these commas? And what do they do? We write these commas because everything that we write in between these commas, they are just like speech. They are going to show as we have written them. There is not going to be any changes in that. So everything that you write in these commas, that appears exactly like that on your screen. So if you want something that you want to put on the screen exactly, you write it. You have to put it in the inverted commas and use it with print. So now let's try to work on this.
Which computer piece has one of those commas, and what is the name of those?
Sorry? Okay, which computer button has to go with it? How can we write it?
How do we pronounce it?
They are pronounced as quotation marks. Quotation marks. They are also called speech marks. They're also called inverted commas, and you can find it on this button that is just around the enter button. Let me show you if I can get the keyboard here on screen. Yeah, this one.
I tried that.
Okay, can you see this keyboard right here?
Yeah.
So if I press the shift button and press this button, that is just alongside the enter. I will get these double quotation marks. Okay.
Okay.
So a difference here and here is that I have written a double quotation marks like with 3 double quotation marks, and I have not written anything between them. After I will press enter and try to make a sort of cake for you guys.
Okay, I get it.
Did you get it? Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I thought we could draw it, but we're just typing some things to make it.
No, it's a digital cake. We are going to make it like that only.
Oh, okay. I thought we could draw it.
We actually can draw it the cake as well, but we have to learn about turtle in that case. So we'll see what turtle is as well. Let's try to run it and see what happens. So when we are going to run it, it's going to appear something like that. Hello Python, my name is Umar Javed. I teach coding to kids.
Everything that you print actually gets printed and copies it on the idle shell.
Yes, it gets printed on the idle shell. As I told you that here that we are working on something. This basically is the area where you write the code, and idle is the part where this code gets translated and then it is executed here. Idle is like its output window, and this is the input window. So everything that you wrote input, idle is going to show its output. Okay.
Okay.
So who has this opened right now in front of them?
Talal. And I just
Hello?
started right now. I just started doing what
Okay,
you do.
so those who have downloaded it and have it opened in front of them, they can start working with the same code and introduce yourselves to me. Okay.
Well, I had it open, but then I closed it, so I could understand what you were doing.
What now you can do is open your Python, idle Pythons, and then you can start writing this code. Once you have written this code, then you can start. Then you can save it and try to run it. I will explain you how to do that once again. Once you write this code,
Teacher, when I save it, it doesn't open. When I open it, it's all black.
you do not have to close it. Okay, you don't need to close it. So save it here, write the whole code, then save it here. After saving, go to this run button and write and click on this one which says run module. So once you click on this one, it is going to start running. You can close it and run it again. It works the same way. Okay.
When I got my Python open.
Okay.
I just learned something new that I forgot to add the inverted commas. I wrote from and it turned the color to pink. I meant orange.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
And then I remembered I forgot to put speech mark.
So now you have got a cake with a candle also.
That's the weirdest cake ever.
That's the weirdest cake ever.
Stars.
No, that's one of the best cakes, you know.
It's very weird. It's only brackets and stars.
Yes, it's only brackets and stars, but you can have it a different way also. Like instead of doing this, you can write that as well. Change the symbols like that and you might have a different type of cake. See, now you have a different kind of cake. It has a candle on its top as well. See, you can imagine anything and you can try to make it.
How did you copy everything 2 times again in the idle shell?
Because when I run it the first time and I don't close it, it runs the second time. It runs it second time again on just its bottom. If you close it and run it, it would only show you one example. See first. Now, if I do it again without closing it, it's going to solve it here after that. So that is why you
So
have
it's
to
going to
close it
double.
and run it. Now it shows only one time. So who is writing your introduction?
I am.
Ayad, are you trying to do that also?
No, I haven't done any.
Ibrahim?
I haven't done any. I only have one computer.
So you
Yes.
can try to do it on that computer. You do not have to be listening to me all the time.
I know that, but I need to also look at the pictures.
You can look at the picture like that. See, I will show you something interesting as well. You can drag it and put it here. So you will cover half of the screen, and half of the screen you can open something else.
I know. I learned that trick and I learned that in school, and I use it now in like when I use the computer.
And
I
you get it? How did I do it? Or do you want me to show you again?
I see you first get 2 screens, then you hold one screen, you drag it to one side until you see a white line in the half, then you leave it.
Now
and then
Ayad, just look at it. What you have to do is click here, drag it down and put it at one of the sides. You see this box opening here like this one? Just leave it and you can open something else on the other side. Like that.
That only happens if you have a laptop?
No, it works on computers as well. You need to have Windows 7, 8, 10, more than Windows 7 to work on it, to do that. Or you can put it on this side also and try opening something else on the other side. Like that. Or just put it on the top and leave it and it will like maximize to the whole screen. But there is one important thing that I want to explain you guys. If you see these print statements, what you see here is I have written these print statements with one inverted comma at the start and then another inverted comma at the end. So this is like that I am using only 2 inverted commas. But if you see this print statement, I am using 3 at the start and 3 at the end. What is the difference between this and this?
Maybe because it has 3 stacks of stuff attached.
So it has actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stacks. So should I use 5 commas for that?
Maybe not.
Yes, we don't have to. Let me explain you what we are doing. So print statement is basically used in 2 ways. First way is write print and then write one inverted comma to start with, write a statement that is single statement. And end it with an inverted comma and put a bracket along it. So this is basically when you want to write one line, when you just want to write one sentence, then you are going to use it. But if you are going to use more than one lines, then what are you going to do? In order to use more than one line,
speech marks?
Yes, if you want to use more than 3 lines, you are going to add 3 speech marks. If you're going to use more than one line,
more than 4 lines, still use the 3 speech marks.
Yes, if you have to write more than one lines, statements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have to write.
Sir, can you share the code for 1 minute?
Share the code. Okay, I will share the code. So when you use this kind of line, you are basically using when you are using like this this kind of structure where you are writing print, and then you are using single piece of inverted comma to start with. That is for single line statements. And if you have multiple lines, more than one lines of statements,
Okay.
for that you use these 3 commas. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's say that we are already writing inverted commas to start and end this. How are we going to tell if we want to represent something in, let's say, commas? Like I have written this line here. I teach coding to kids. But let's say that if I wanted to write this, I teach coding to kids. How I'm
You
going to write
added
this?
2 speech marks, one in the middle of the coding and one at the end of the coding.
You mean like this?
Yeah.
So if I run it, do you think that coding would be appearing as like in speech marks?
I think no.
Why do you think no? Because this has now turned black. Yes, this has now turned black. So let's say that if I add a slash mark here and a slash mark here as well, how is it going to
How
appear
does it
now?
change the color if you add speech mark? How does the word change its color? And if you add slash on the first and in the beginning and the end, how does it change its color back to normal like the other words?
See this now?
Yeah.
Using this slash here would explain that now this inverted comma is not a part of your print statement. It is there to show that this character is in inverted commas. So if you want to put anything in inverted commas, all you have to do is just put this backslash before inserting the inverted comma. Again, if I have to put this Python in inverted commas, I will write this. So this means that this Python is in inverted commas right now. Similarly, I can use it with single inverted commas as well.
Teacher, I'm done.
You're done. That's great. Now you see the difference between this code and this code. Now you can see that this Python here is written in inverted commas because I put that backslash here to show it in inverted commas. Similarly, this Python is written in single inverted commas and this is written here in single inverted commas because I put single inverted commas here. So this backslash here, this is called escape character. What do we call it? This is called escape character. Okay. Escape character is used when you want to put inverted commas in your statements. You can't do it without putting the backslash. So this character backslash is an escape character. You put it before a speech mark to show it on the screen. So if you want to show a speech mark on the screen, you have to use it. Okay. Now let's go to the last thing from this lesson. Okay. Let's say that I have...
it won't run. When I try to run it, my program won't run.
Do you want to show it?
Yes.
Yes, you can share your screen.
It says you cannot start screen sharing while other participant is sharing.
I would have to stop it. Now you have to share your screen.
This is yeah, because you forgot to finish, because you finish off the. This is what happens. Because
So
it's red.
there is a very simple problem that you can fix. See, you opened that brackets here. Now you need to close it bracket on this side. Remove this bracket and add a closing bracket on this side. It would work.
Okay.
First click on OK.
You always need to put a bracket on the beginning and the end because
Yes,
then
you have to put a
then
bracket
the
at the beginning
computers
and the
know
end.
that you are talking something to you.
That's
You're
right. That's
talking
right.
something to
Then
the
we are doing it
computer.
right. Yes, add it
That's
here.
why it's important to use the
Yes.
brackets.
Now run. Let's see what happens now. Okay, save it. Run it now. It has already been saved, Zainab.
Well, this is what happened when I run it.
You have to run it.
Okay. Here.
Is it opening now?
Yeah, yes, it worked.
It worked. Okay. That's perfectly fine. Okay, now I want to show you one last thing. Let's say that you want to write something in the program, but you don't want it to be appearing on the screen. How can we do that?
That's a good question. Very hard.
It's not very hard. It's kind of, yes, it's actually very hard. So let's say that I want to tell people that this is an introduction about myself, but I don't want it to be a part of the program when it runs, but I want it to be in the code. So for that, I'm going to use this symbol.
So you mean that you don't want the sentence, the speech to be in the shell, idle shell, only
Yes.
in the code.
Only in the code, but I don't want to appear it in the idle shell. So let's say that I write here. This is my intro.
I can't see your screen. Me too. Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Let me share that first. Let me share that first. So let's say that if you want to say, this is my introduction. Now, if you write it like this one, you know that if you write it like this one.
And sir, why are all the letters after greens all green? Are we even supposed to change those colors? Are we even supposed to change
this green
them?
here represents that our code is right. If it is not green, it means that we are making some mistake. It needs to be green. That is why it is green. So now when you run it, you can see that it would be appearing on my screen as well. This is my introduction, but let's say that I don't want this line to be a part of our program. How can I fix it? All I need to do is just add this hashtag symbol before this line. And now when I save it and try to run it, you can see that this does not say that this is my introduction now. So this is called comments. We write comments in a program to explain about something, but we don't want it to be appearing in this actual program. So that is why we put it, or we start them with inverted commas. So they are basically called comments. So where is my word file? I will write something here as well.
Comments. Well, comments are. It looks like that comments are not even on the computer.
Yes, comments are written in the program, but they are not a part of the output. When you get the output, they are not in the output, but you write that.
The output is the idle shell, and the input is the in the inner part where you code for the outer.
Idle shell is the output code, and this one is the input code. So this input code we have written, this is my introduction, but that is not going to show in our output because we have written it as a comment. A comment is kind of a statement that is a part of your input, but it does not show in the output. Okay. So that is called comments. In order to write comments, start your statement with a hashtag. So that is it. I will share the document with you guys.
Swashback. It doesn't. It looks. How do you even press that? Swashback is like not even on the keyboard.
Sorry, which one? This
Then
hashtag.
the flashback is not even on the keyboard.
When you
Yeah,
press,
we
okay, when you press,
shift and then click 3.
yes, you can press shift and 3, and this would appear on your screen. Okay.
Okay.
So this was Python intro class. And I have recorded this lesson as well, and I have saved this document here as well. I will be sharing this document with you. There are 3 to 4 things that you have to learn about. First is how do we use the print command and why do we use the print command? After that, what is the difference between using a print with single quotation marks and using print with 3 quotation marks? And after that, we have to learn about the escape character, and then we have to learn about the comments. And that is it from our today's class. If there is anything that you guys want to ask, you can ask now.